Well, this being my 9th channel, and YouTube has me limited to 15 minutes. I can't go over 15 minutes. And I've got some of my old stuff saved. Not much compared to what they've taken down when they took down all them other channels. But I'm going to play 2 old flat earth videos that I made. My talking points when I try to explain it to other people. They're about 3 years old. But for the most part, there's only a handful of people that's been with me all along. But there's one thing a lot of flat earthers say, that you walk upside down in Australia. And to me, that is one of the dumbest things you can try to use to get somebody to look into it. Because if this thing here, my famous ball, is out in outer space, there would be no up or down on this thing. Impossible. You would not be walking upside down. Where would the up, sideways, up, down, where would that be on a ball in outer space? I think that's stupid. I'm going to play them other 2 right now. Well, good evening. I just want to make a short video here. Woke up this morning, and I normally never remember what my dream was about, but I've been thinking about this all day. And it's about the shape of the earth. Not necessarily the shape of the earth, but about NASA. And how to get people, if they will just open their mind and use a little common sense, you can prove to them beyond a shadow of a doubt that NASA is lying about everything. By using a coin, this is a $50. Any little ball to represent the earth, and a cell phone to look up images, but I will use the photos. Now, in order to keep this short, most people don't even know, when you first start talking to them, the numbers, how far the sun supposedly is away from us, which they claim it's 93 million miles away, and how big the earth is, 24,000 at the equator, give or take, how big the moon is, how far away it is. They don't know any of that. They think gravity is a magical thing, sticks to water and everything to the ground as it's spinning at 1,000 miles an hour at the equator. And you will never hear me talk about water laying flat or up or down. You're standing upside down in Australia. People don't understand that when they first start hearing the term flat earth. They are used to just seeing the ball. That's it. They don't know what you're talking about, up or down or water laying flat. By using this ball, this coin, and a cell phone to look up the images, but I'll show you the images, you can prove to them that NASA is lying. They tell us that the sun is 93 million miles away, and it travels through utter darkness to hit this tiny little 24,000 miles in circumference. It wouldn't be but a speck of sand in comparison if you can wrap your mind around these numbers. And the light and heat travels through utter darkness, and they call it the blackness of space. But then too, here's where the common sense comes in. Ask him, how come then, if space is totally black, how can their Hubble telescope show you pictures of galaxies and stars and planets if space is completely black. But let's get back to this. And they tell us the seasons is because of the tilt. When you tilt toward the sun, which is coming from 93 million miles away, it's your summer. When you tilt away, it's your winter. I'm in the northern hemisphere, right? On this little bitty speck of sand in comparison. And meanwhile, it's spinning. It's winter time here. Okay, but I could get it. Let's see where it is. If I'm up here in Indiana, I drive 1,000 miles south to Florida, I can gain 50 degrees in temperature from something 93 million miles away. Oh, it's because I'm tilted away from it. Okay, the equator is the warmest part, and it stays warm year round. But what happens when you tilt away from it and you're spinning? That is no longer the equator. Complete and utter lie about the seasons and about the tilt on a ball. Now this is where your cell phone would come in handy. Look up the images, and regardless of what one you show them how that would work on a flat earth map. Regardless of what flat earth map you get. And then you can show them that this is supposedly where your light source comes from, through utter darkness for 93 million miles, and yet it curves through the clouds. Show them this here. It's right behind the clouds. That's why it comes through at angles. And this equator never changes on the flat earth model. They tell you you're spinning at 1,000 miles an hour, going around the sun at 67,000 miles an hour. Meanwhile, the sun is going through space at 500,000 miles an hour, then going sideways through the universe. All these motions, millions of miles an hour. Do you feel any? And then get back to the easy one, which this is the easy one. The moon landing. Utter darkness, right? But they could show you galaxies and stars and all kinds of lights, unless they don't want you seeing that, like in the moon landing. Or Artemis, the blackness of space. But anyhow, they show you the Earth off in a distance. Tiny. But they tell you that the moon is 1/4 the size of the Earth. And you only see one side of it at all times. As it goes around the Earth, you only see one side of it at all times. 1/4 the size. So the only possible way, using your common sense, that you could see the Earth standing on the moon. Little side note, how'd they get that car in that thing? Standing on the moon, you would have to be looking straight over your head. You would not even see the moon in the shot, because you would have to look straight over your head to see something that is always facing this ball Earth. That is a blatant lie and easily to be proven. And besides that, the size you see the moon look in the sky while you're standing on Earth, if you're standing on the moon, you would have to look straight over your head, and it would have to look 4 times larger than what you see the moon look like. It's all blatant lies to keep you believing what they want you to believe. This was in Stranger Things. I snapped this shot to show the perspective, how it goes into your eyes cannot see that far. And it's right above the clouds, much smaller than they tell you, with a firmament above it to divide the waters from the waters. Because you get past the firmament, it is pitch black. But the sun is not. It's in the firmament. Just my thoughts. A little common sense. A cell phone to look up images. Get you a little ball. Put the equator on it. And you can prove to them everything NASA tells you is a blatant lie about the globe Earth. There is no globe Earth. You're living on a flat, stationary, unmovable, built on 4 pillars with a firmament above it. God's creation, not evolution. Creation. Love y'all. Down the road. Well, let's expose one of many. Well, everything NASA tells you is a lie. This is supposedly how the planets orbit around the sun in order. Mercury and Venus, if this is true, and NASA is telling you the truth, you have never, ever, ever, ever seen Mercury or Venus. Never. Because they tell us that the Earth spins and our nighttime is facing out this way, away from the light of the sun. And Mercury and Venus are in between us and the sun. So if we're facing out into the night sky and Mercury and Venus are in the inner loop between us and the sun, you would have to have the reflection of the sun hitting Mercury or Venus to be able to see it. It would have to be out here and able to see it. Do you get it? All of you that still deny the fact that they are lying about everything. And in the daytime, they are between you, us, on this spinning ball that they tell us, and the sun. The daytime, you cannot see any so-called planet or stars during the day. So you have never, ever, ever seen Mercury or Venus if you're on a spinning ball. But if you are on a stationary, unmovable, created Earth with a dome, a firmament above it, with the sun and the moon and the stars in that firmament, as they make their circuit around the flat Earth, you would see Mercury and Venus. They are the wandering stars. Just food for thought. Or still stay trapped into the lies of this world of Lucifer and his minions. Down the road.
No way!